everybody, it's Mrs. Shannon. So to get into the spirit of things, we are going to be starting our blogs for Science Friday. But to keep in tune with the younger generation, we're going to incorporate vlogs within it as well. And so here's Mrs. Shannon's first vlog to add to our Science Friday classroom blog. And it's going to be on what we are doing right now with our ecosystems. Today is Monday, September 9th, and it's day one. First hour, we just had first hour go through and start their design process. It is a second hour prep, so I'm sort of in between getting ready for the next classes, and I'll kind of show you a lay of the land, what the kids are walking into and what they get to choose when they construct their eco column. So I'm going to switch this, maybe not. See, Mrs. Shannon's learning how to vlog too. Okay. So I don't know if I can switch it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you some of the materials over here. So students will have bottles that they can choose from, okay? That's going to be their basic design apparatus. And so some of our first hour students have started designing them today. Before they began, they had a design template. They had to sketch out and label every part of their ecosystem that they were going to have. Now the requirements were to have 3 parts in one ecosystem that all connected: a terrestrial, a decomposition, and an aquatic chamber. They also had to keep one fish alive, and they had to grow plants. Okay, so that was the only requirements I gave them. Now I'm providing a lot of the materials. Students are free to bring in whatever they want. So for fish, we have a selection of feeder fish. So we have guppies, rosy reds, comet goldfish that they can choose from. We also have a selection of soils that they can use. I have potting soil, this lovely one called cow manure compost, which I'm sure will be a hit with the kids, and topsoil. We also have gravel. We have water from Mrs. Shannon's pond with pond plants from her pond. We have pill bugs that they have been bringing in. We have aquarium water, which is just dechlorinated tap water, if I can show you that. We have a selection of seeds that they can choose from. And then the best part is the little organisms. So I'm providing them with crickets, besides the fish, and mealworms and superworms, which, even though they say worms, are actually larvae of beetles. So here's an example of a little critter that they can choose to use, if I can get it up here. Okay, so here's a little superworm that they can choose to use. We also have I said mealworms. We also have regular segmented worms. We have common red worms. Woo! So if they choose to use a red worm, they can do that too. Some people have been bringing in their own frogs and toads from at home, their own water samples, their own soil samples, and I encourage them to do this. Before they add any organisms, they'll have to gather baseline data using tests, nitrates. Okay, we have an indicator for pH, temperature, and then we also are going to be testing for phosphate. And then they're going to be updating every week, every Friday, they're going to be updating how their ecosystem's doing and writing a reflection, collecting data, and modifying their design if they need to. So what we're hoping is that their animals live, and that we can get you guys to follow us on our journey as we do our first Science Friday, designing an ecosystem in a bottle. Feel free to comment, feel free to follow. If you have friends or family that are able to follow and would be a good influence, a good commentator on our journey, or that might be interested in following along, please have them follow us. Just remember that this is going to be school appropriate, and all comments need to be modified to make it school appropriate. And please do not use any last names, so that way we don't have any identifying marks from any of our commentators. Okay? Thanks for following us. Here we are live, Concord Junior High.